Hello viewers, I am Major General Neelendra Kumar for the video channel Lex Consilium Foundation in conversation with the 14th Chief of Indian Army, General VN Sharma. General VN Sharma, who was educated and got his initial grooming at the Sherwood and Nainital and Rashtriya Indian Military College. Sir, my first question to you is that you had occasion to interact, to see and meet Mrs. Indira Gandhi. For our viewers, what would you like to convey your impression?
When I was the Major General commanding 17 Mountain Division in Sikkim, the Himalayan Mountaineering Institute had their Silver Jubilee, for which Indira Gandhi was the chief guest. I was also invited. There, when she opened the occasion, and after the presentation by the HMI, tea was served. I found that none of her staff or officers came anywhere near her. She was the Prime Minister and she was all alone having a cup of tea. So I walked across and started chatting with her. My impression was she was a most generous and kind lady, especially with the military. She used all her effeminate charm, shall I call it, to win over the hearts and minds of her military officers. She asked me detailed questions about Sikkim, about the mountaineering, about Kanchenjunga, which I answered most happily, and she was extremely kind and nice.
Okay. You had another occasion to meet her?
That same evening, the HMI invited Indira Gandhi to go to the Kalimpong visual point at 4 o'clock in the morning to see the first rays of the sun as it hit the peaks of Mount Kanchenjunga. Now, as you know, Kanchenjunga is the third highest peak in the world, but it's a remarkable sight to see the first rays of sun and the way that mountain looks when the sunlight comes. She agreed to go. At 4 o'clock in the morning, she was fully dressed and she came out onto the passageway. All her staff kept their distance. The person who was present to escort her was Jyoti Basu, who was the Chief Minister
of West Bengal.
As you know, politically, there was a big fight going on where Subhash Ghising, Gorkha leader of Darjeeling, wanted separation from West Bengal. He was encouraged by Indira Gandhi and the Congress party against the wishes of Jyoti Basu. Nonetheless, at 4 in the morning, Jyoti Basu came and we watched and we saw that he took her hand and guided her along up the mountain steps to see the first rays of the sunlight on Kanchenjunga.
And that's remarkable. Be with us, our conversation would continue.
When we went up on the road to Nainital, it had snowed the previous night. And when we were about 10 minutes short of the Nainital pass, the area, the track, was full of a snowdrift. And the commanding officer of the battalion at Nainital had come down on the other side with some ponies to say that I will take you forward if you cross on foot. I thought that maybe we were all on ponies, so I thought that I can make a pass through the snow with my pony. But when I started that to make a pathway for Mr. Venkatraman, my horse found his feet no longer on the ground and he floundered, and then we had to come back with great difficulty. And President, or rather Mr. Venkatraman at that time, Finance Minister, started laughing. He said, "You are the first general I found who couldn't cross a snowdrift on your horse." Next time I met him was when he was Defense Minister, and I had come to the Military Operations Directorate as a Major General. And I took some papers to him from the Military Operations Directorate, and he said, "You are the general who couldn't take his pony across the snowdrift." I said, "Yes, that's me." He laughed heartily, and he was very good. For instance, he signed some very important papers which were not accepted by the Ministry of Defense. For example, when the Army wanted the Army Aviation Corps from the Air Force, with great resistance from the Air Force, Defence Minister signed it. See? That's a rishta. Now when I became the Army Chief, he became the President of India. And we had a very close relationship. And he was kind enough to call me and my wife almost every once a month to the Rashtrapati Bhavan. They've got a private cinema hall for any of the films or shows, dances, etc. that were put up for the President. And we used to attend that. Even after I retired, that continued as long as he was the President of India. I found him a remarkable man, very humorous, and at the same time very kind-hearted.